Subscribe, follow, like, share. Last Bell Boxing. These guys give you all the exclusives. And next time I get my fight date, it's going to be exclusive on here as well. So make sure you give them all a follow.
Hello, welcome to the latest special of Last Bell Boxing, joined by Sean. Sean, thank you for joining today.
Hello, mate.
Very interesting this one. So we're going to cover Canelo versus Crawford. We're going to cover the fact that it's landed on Netflix. We're going to cover the fact that Crawford's coming up a couple of weights to fight Canelo, and we'll cover a prediction. So, Turki Al-Sheikh's been very vocal in the media at the minute around numerous topics, talking about wasting his time with Oscar De La Hoya, talking about having no more Tom and Jerry fights, which made me smile, having dinner with the two fighters so close to fight night. First question is, do you still, I know I've asked this before in the past on the show, but do you still think Turkey is good for boxing? Let's start with that one.
Well, I guess as fight fans, we're still getting the fights that we've been craving for. So in that aspect, I would say yes. But just his comments and his demeanour, I mean, yes, it's just a bit strange, really. I mean, I think the power's certainly got to his head at this stage because he doesn't really care for promoters or contracts. It seems from the outside, he just waves his checkbook and gets what he wants. So yeah, I think just about. I would say he's good for boxing, but right on the edge at this point.
And the truth is, Sean, he's tried it with other sports, haven't they? So they've tried it with golf, where they did live golf. They've tried it with football, where they brought all the players over, and they haven't quite managed it because of governing bodies. Whereas boxing's always described as a wild west, and like I said, if you got enough money, you can make it happen, right? So the next question: what do you think generations moving forward? So in 100 years, what do you think they'll look back on this time in boxing and think of it? Because one man's got a lot of power in this sport at the minute, right? One man's got a lot of power.
Yeah, well, it's a good question. I suppose who you ask will answer differently, but you've got the aspect of it's been detrimental to the female boxers, I would say, because they didn't get the opportunities because you know why that is. But for the men's sort of side of things, I think overall you would say that you saw the best fight each other, which what we always want as fight fans, isn't it? We've seen it years and years, you know, where it was Pacquiao, Mayweather, they fought when they were too old.
Yeah.
Generally, we're getting the fighters fight at the right time. So I think when people look back, they would say it will be an era where one guy made the fights happen.
So let's turn our attention to the broadcasting side of this fight then. So it's not lost on me that, you know, Turkey normally deals with DAZN. The majority of his Riyadh season and ringside fights land on DAZN. And then all of a sudden, he's got the biggest fight probably in boxing, the biggest names, definitely the biggest names. And he goes and gets it put on Netflix. So what do you think's happening there? Is it a Dana White influence, or what do you think's happening?
I would say so because I think I know the UFC isn't in Netflix, but I know the WWE is, and they're linked with that TKO company.
Yep.
So I think there's a link there. Quite surprised really because as we were saying off air that Turkey's got a share or he's got some sort of influence within the zone. So I can't imagine that they're too happy having the biggest fight probably boxing this year stripped away from their network. But I mean, for fans, it's great. I don't think it's pay-per-view, is it? If you've got a Netflix subscription, you can watch it, as I understand it. So it's good value for us, particularly the time of morning it will be on for us as well. So you can't really complain about it, I don't think.
And then turn our attention to the actual fight then. So I'm sure we'll cover this again on the live show on Thursday night, 7:30 for people who are watching. How do you think this fight plays out then, Sean? There's a lot of different scenarios being thrown around. What's your?
Yeah, I mean, when it was first muted, I thought, don't be stupid. Crawford's going up too many weights. Canelo will just sort of old man and use his size and win. But now I've thought about it a bit more and heard a few other opinions. I actually think Crawford beats him, to be honest. I think it's I think it will be similar to the Bivol fight, where Bivol outboxed him quite comfortably and won on points. I think it's going to be like a ball in the matador, really. I think Canelo will be chasing him, but I just don't think Crawford will be there for him to hit. I mean, he's obviously coming up the weights, but he'll still retain his speed. And I just think he won't be there for Canelo to sort of walk down and impose himself on like he often does.
And that first stare off that they had, I was shocked how similar they are in terms of size. You know, it
Yeah.
just shows how Crawford must boil himself down.
Yeah, I think people are surprised with Canelo really because although he's gone up and down the weight, I don't think he's particularly that tall. I think he's only 5'7", 5'8". So yeah, I think that will play into Crawford's hands as well. He's obviously got, as I say, he's got the speed. He'll have the sort of nimbleness to negate Canelo, and I think that makes it an intriguing fight.
Do you not think that Canelo gets to him in 12 rounds then?
No, I think he's on the decline majorly, Canelo. His last fight in Saudi where he become undisputed, I think that fight sort of stunk the place out. Okay, the opponent didn't want to be there. He was running around the ring, but still, you would expect Canelo 2 or 3 years ago to get to him and stop him. So, yeah, I think the decline of Canelo is there to see, and I think Crawford. I think he's just too good. I think he's the best boxer, active boxer in the sport at the moment, personally. And I think he'll just use his skills and his boxing ability to outpoint him.
Yeah, I think he's going to points. I think Crawford will beat him on points. Yeah. I'm not sure Canelo continues after this fight because, let's have it right, if he's in a super middleweight of previous eras, he wouldn't even fight Crawford. He'd have enough dance partners to stay at super middle, but he's having to bring people up from the different divisions, or he's having to go up to light heavy to get a decent fight, right? He might want the Bivol fight, he might want the rematch, but I can't see that changing. You know, I can't see a different outcome. I think it'd be even more conclusive now if Bivol got hold of Canelo. So
yeah, I guess the only other fight for him potentially, but I don't think it will happen. David Benavidez.
Or what about Eubank Jr.? He keeps saying he wants to fight in the UK. Canelo does. Maybe if DAZN open the checkbook up and Eddie does, well, it won't be Eddie with it, but he'll be boxer. But maybe a Eubank Jr. fight. It does Wembley. Canelo could fill any stadium in the UK, couldn't it?
Yeah, even if it isn't Eubank Jr., there's always Hamza Shiraz as well that's knocking about at super middleweight. So, yeah, I mean, it would be good to see Canelo over here before he retires, for sure.
Yeah, I think Shiraz got it all on with Belangula, hasn't he? You know, that's a damn good fight and a damn tough fight. So let's see what happens here. Okay, Sean, thank you very much for your opinions. Again, as ever, agree, disagree, post your comments below. We'll be covering this fight again on our Thursday night live show, 7:30. Like, comment, subscribe. This has been Last World Boxing, proudly sponsored by LW Lipton's and SC Travel. See you on the next video. Cheers, Sean.
Cheers.